As you've heard from me before, the amount of muscle on our body is the number one biological marker of aging. So the more muscle you have on your body, the younger you are. Isn't that awesome? So muscle is always on my mind. I'm always thinking, how can I build more muscle? How can I help patients build more muscle? Especially as people are aging, how can we keep muscle on my grandma, my grandpa, my parents? Because if they keep muscle on their body, their youthfulness is going to stay around for a lot longer. Muscle literally is a direct sign of how youthful your body is. So I put together 5 things, just 5, that I wish I would have paid attention to when I was trying to build muscle, which I still am, of course, but especially when I started out, when I was, a high schooler. These 5 things I wish I would have put some effort into, and they would have made my life so much simpler now, and would have made it so many times I wouldn't have had to take breaks from exercising, from resistance training, because of injuries and stuff. So I know in high school we're not, we're thinking about let's just work out, who cares, biceps, chest, that kind of thing. But it really is unfortunate because there's so much, and especially at least in my high school, there's so much undersight, lack of oversight related to weight training. Basically the coach is like, hey, you guys go out there, work out, follow this bigger, faster, stronger plan, and we're not going to show you how to squat, power clean, snatch, bench press, doing this kind of stuff. Just do it. Mostly because the coaches don't even know how to do it themselves. But for me, this led to me getting a couple injuries, messing up my shoulder a little bit, hurt my back a little bit, and now I still pay the price for those things, going on to be 40 years old. And so if you're just getting into weightlifting, or you are been in weightlifting or weight training, and anybody, my grandma could be in resistance, could be in weight training, all the way down to myself, or your teenage kid could be weight training. But I think these 5 things could have extreme value in making sure that you realize total health gained, while having injuries, or injuries that last and go on and on, keeping those at a minimal. None of these fitness-induced injuries where you're trying to gain fitness and yet you're injuring yourself. Because those minor injuries when you're younger, which I had a few of them, as you get older, those minor injuries become, unfortunately, more major, chronic, irritating, especially when you hit 35 years old, 40 years old, 45 years old, 60 years old. Now those that shoulder ache, tightness, tension, it's not as easy to overcome. It's not as easy just to push through. So if you're just starting weight training, or you're just getting back into it, or you've been locking it down for years, but you're noticing maybe your joints, your tendons, your ligaments aren't quite as supple, aren't quite as happy as they used to be. Maybe they're screaming at you a little more. I have some sound wisdom to bring your way that's going to make your gym experience, your living room experience, your YouTube exercise video experience so much more efficient, and make it so that you're not a physical therapist, or worse off, at the orthopedics office. You just get to do your workouts. So number 1 on the list is we want to master excellent form. Form is king, queen, princess, prince, all of it. If your goal is crazy awesome fitness, then part of gaining that crazy awesome fitness is to burn loads of energy while you're training. That's literally what we're doing. We're going to the gym, we're going to our workout class, we're going to CrossFit, and we're going to burn crazy amounts of energy. And the thing that burns crazy amounts of energy is perfect form. Especially at the beginning, when you allow your body to be lazy, your mechanics to be lazy, when you're using momentum to just jerk weights off the ground, that kind of thing, that requires far less energy, while at the same time vastly increasing your risk of injury, which means you're on the sidelines and now you're just watching everybody else work out, get those killer abs that you're wanting. So initially, maybe you might throwing weights around, you can, you do all this crazy stuff and no form, that kind of stuff, and you're contorting your body in all these wild ways to get weights off your chest, off the ground, these kind of things. and it seems like you're getting somewhere, but very quickly your body's going to catch up with that, and adaptation is not going to be happening anymore. And the person that's been working this whole time on form, precision, they're the ones that are going to start seeing the massive strength gains. They're going to start seeing the massive body composition changes because they've been working on that foundation. They've been creating an unshakable foundation. And you can think of that person that's lifting a little bit less weight, but yet they're going perfect form. They're burning so many calories just by forcing their mind to concentrate on their form, as opposed to just willy-nilly it. So when you're maintaining excellent form, you're creating a foundation. You're preparing a body for life. So when you're throwing your suitcase up on the airplane, or you're grabbing your kid that's about to fall into the street, having already worked on that excellent posture and the ability to guard your spine while doing the workouts in the gym, you're creating yourself ready for combat. You're ready for life combat. Whatever life brings your way, you're going to be ready. So number 2 on the list, consider when you're going through, say, a squat motion or a deadlift or a bench press, to actually consider feeling the muscles you're working, like concentrating, thinking about what muscle am I working right now. Or say if you're doing an abdominal exercise and you're only feeling pain in your neck, that should let you know, I'm not doing this correctly. I'm doing this improperly. I should not be having pain in my neck. I should be having pain, tension, burning sensation in my abdominal muscles. But if you're not cognizant, if you're not thinking about what motion am I doing, what is the goal of this exercise I'm doing, then you're not even going to recognize it. And you're going to be running through all these repetitions while having all this pain in your neck and get injured your neck. You're going to give yourself a headache while you should be giving yourself an abdominal muscle ache. Or say maybe you're deadlifting or you're squatting and all you feel is tension in your lower back. But you don't feel your quads on fire. You don't feel your hamstrings burning. Your glutes don't feel like they're just gonna, blow out the back of your pants. If all that tension is in your low back, this is a sure sign that you're doing the movement incorrectly. Or it could also be that your mind to muscle connection of your legs, is not present. And you'd be far better off, as opposed to doing those deadlifts or doing those back squats. You'd be better off, performing other exercises that would very, very specifically direct attention and force your brain to, there's nothing else. The only way you could do that movement is if your butt muscles or your glutes fire. So as opposed to, throwing a bunch of weight on your back squat, sure you can do it, but you have, low back tension the whole time. That's a good sign that you're doing a movement inappropriately, or that the muscles are not firing like they should be through your glutes, through your hamstrings, through your quads. And so you'd be way better off ratcheting it back and getting it so that you can feel your glutes, quads, hamstrings firing before put a bunch of weight on your back. All right, keep going. Number 3, perform movements through full range of motion. There is, there's only so much time in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year to work out. It's fun to work out, but there's only so much time. So a great way to gain 2 measures of fitness, one being strength and the other being range of motion, would be to do full range of motion exercises. So instead of doing like a quarter of a squat, you do a full squat. Or instead of, say you're bench pressing, and instead of just coming down, 2 or 3 inches off your chest, you come all the way down to your chest and then go all the way back up to lockout, as opposed to, say, going halfway up. So by doing this, we're literally making ourselves more capable in life. Whatever life throws at us, we are going to be more able, because we've already been doing full ranges of motion. Because what happens when life, it's all full range of motion. Somebody throws something at us, we have to duck, we have to get down, we have to get up, we have to, pick something off the ground, our kid's about to fall into the street, grab them. These are all going to be full ranges of motion that we have to do. And we want to make sure our body can, perform at that full range of motion. Otherwise, we're almost like slightly disabled when it comes to actual living life. And the full range of motion, this only makes us more flexible, more capable, and it also, it would decrease our potential of injury. So you do go try to snatch your kid out of the street. Well, if you have not ever done full range extension of your bicep muscle, there's a good chance you're going to tear your bicep muscle by grabbing your 60-pound kid that was falling in the street. So full range of motion. All right, number 4, keep a journal of your workouts, and or the amount of weight you lifted or the time it took you to complete that workout. If this sounds like this is too much, Matt, can't do that, then it's too tedious for me, then at a minimum, create 2 or 3 lifts or workout routines that you would complete, every about 8 to 12 weeks, so that you can be sure you're actually gaining fitness. And you're able to, look back and say, great, 2 months ago, I did this workout and it took me like 20 minutes. Today I did it and it took me, 16 minutes. Wow, I'm getting way fitter. And when you can tell that you're gaining strength, you're gaining fitness, this creates this massive sense of momentum in the body, this dopamine, this reward response, and it makes it easier for us to go work out again. It makes it easier for us to stay consistent. Makes it so that we know we're actually getting something out of what we're doing. We're not the amount of effort we're putting in does have a reward to it. So journal it. Give yourself your own internal accountability there. And number 5, this is for performance gains, body composition gains galore. Make sure that the weights and the reps are not the same every time. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to create more fitness. It is important to consistently increase your reps or increase the resistance that you're putting on your body. Otherwise, our bodies will adapt, and which is what we want. We want continual adaptation. But if our bodies adapt and then don't have to adapt anymore, guess what? We actually are losing fitness then, and you're burning less and less and less calories with each workout you do. You're making it harder and harder and harder for yourself to maintain or build a better body composition, to burn more fat. And by forcing adaptation actually creates youthfulness. That is telling your body, hey, we're going back to younger days here. We're forcing your body to create more muscle tissue, strong connective tissue. And when the muscles and the connective tissue, when they don't have or they don't feel stress to adapt, then guess what? If it's not stress on those tissues, the body doesn't feel like it needs to adapt, it's not going to pump out a bunch of growth hormone. And what is better than a bunch of growth hormone? Not too much for the human body. You can get all the Botox you want, all the tummy tucks, all the liposuction, all that kind of stuff. You can stretch your skin all over the place. But if you got growth hormone coming into your body, these surges, the boluses of growth hormone, because you're putting in this resistance into your tissues, then guess what? Youthfulness, bones, muscles, digestive system, brain, skin, your sense of youthful well-being is going to be so much better. And people are going to wonder, how are you so youthful? You're like, you know what? I've been doing resistance training for years. That's how I'm so youthful. All right, so do these 5 things. Expect fitness and strength gains and minimal time on the sidelines trying to recover from any manner of fitness-inflicted injuries. These 5 things are going to take you places in the fitness realm and give you some body composition changes that you want. So I'm Dr. Matt. Be sure to like, subscribe, share it to help your family and friends accumulate health. That's what we're about, right? Health accumulation. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.